Good morning.
Good morning.
We proudly stand before you, women for the change we need.
Yes.
We proudly stand before you, prepared to do everything in our power to elect Barack Obama, the next President of the United States. In the weeks ahead, we will be all over the country bringing a message of positive change, a new direction in America that addresses the economic concerns of the American people, in particular the economic concerns of America's working families and America's women. And in recent weeks, we have seen the consequences of the mismanagement of the Bush administration on our economy. Yet John McCain says the fundamentals of our economy are strong. American women know better. We are here today to focus on the change in America's economy. Barack Obama is the change America's women need, expect, and deserve. In this election, American women have the most to gain by the election of Barack Obama and the most to lose by the election of John McCain. Consider the record. On equal pay for women, Barack Obama says yes, John McCain says no. Barack Obama says equal pay for women is essential. John McCain suggests that women get paid less because they need more education and training. Barack Obama is the change America needs. On health care for 10 million American children, Barack Obama says yes, John McCain says no. In fact, John McCain called President Bush's veto of the Children's Health Insurance Program the right call. He said, the right call by the President. The President said we couldn't afford to insure 10 million children in America. 40 days in Iraq, 10 million children in America insured for 1 year. And John McCain said the President made the right call. And Barack Obama, again, is the change American women need. American women care about the health of our children. Anna, where's Anna? Come on forward, Anna. Beautiful Anna. Think we could make a little match here? Just think about it about 25 years from now.
I want those shoes.
Rosa loves these shoes. To the 24.5 million American women, 24.5 million American women receive Social Security. Barack Obama says yes to a guaranteed benefit. John McCain says no. John McCain supports privatizing Social Security just like President Bush does. He says he wants private accounts along the lines of the Bush plan. Can you just imagine if President Bush had prevailed earlier this week when the stock market went down 500 points in one day? That's not Social Security. That's social insecurity that John McCain supports. Barack Obama is the change American women need. On increasing funding to prevent domestic violence, an issue of concern to women across this country and their families, Barack Obama says yes, John McCain says no. Barack Obama's running mate, Joe Biden, authored the landmark Violence Against Women Act. John McCain repeatedly voted against funding to fight and prevent domestic violence. He voted against a $9 million increase for the Office of Violence Against Women. McCain even opposed authorizing grants to aid children who have witnessed domestic violence. Barack Obama is the change America's families need. In the Bush-McCain economy, all Americans are feeling the strain. But for women, the problem is compounded by the gender gap in pay. Only one candidate supports improving economic opportunity for women, and one candidate, John McCain, supports the status quo. Barack Obama is the change American women need. And now we're going to talk more specifically about some of these issues that address the economic security, or in the case of John McCain, insecurity of America's women. And I'm pleased to yield the podium to the great gentlewoman from Connecticut, a leader on behalf of America's women and working families. And before I bring her to the podium, she's also a very strong supporter of Barack Obama for President of the United States, Rosa DeLauro.
Thank you, Speaker Pelosi. You have truly elevated the position of Speaker by bringing an extraordinary kind of leadership to the House of Representatives, the kind that refuses to shy away from the toughest fights, the kind that is informed by an understanding of what is at stake. And today, together with all of my colleagues, the Democratic women of the House, we understand that this November, the stakes could not be higher for the women of this nation. Women feel the effects of this economy's failings with greater force and poignancy. So many pushed to the edge financially by soaring prices and shrinking incomes. Women are losing jobs at a faster rate than men. Incomes for women-headed households are down by 3% since 2000. Half of women are in jobs without a retirement plan, while 1/5 of all working women do not have health care. 1/3 live in poverty. And contributing to all of that, women still earn 77 cents for every dollar that men earn. Barack Obama recognizes this pay gap, knows it's wrong, and wants to do something to change it. He has made it a priority in this campaign, and yesterday released a new TV ad highlighting just how far we still have to go. Take a look at the ad.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Today, many women work to help support their families, but are paid just 77 cents to the dollar a man makes. It's one more thing John McCain doesn't get about our economy. He opposed a law to guarantee women equal pay for equal work, calling it too great a burden on business. McCain explains away the wage gap, saying women just need more education and training. A burden on business? How about the burden on our families?
Okay. Yes. This advertisement says it all. Equal pay is at the heart of our debate for president, and it has the power to make this a transformational election. Today, women are getting paid less than men, but John McCain opposes equal pay for equal work. He says, don't worry. All you need to do is to get more education and training to get better jobs. And that shows why he cannot rescue this economy or help women to lift themselves up in this economy. When the Senate brought up the bill to remedy the Supreme Court's decision overturning Lilly Ledbetter's pay discrimination claims to make sure it does not happen again, John McCain said that he would oppose it. When it came time to vote, he didn't even bother to show up. We cannot afford more of the same. Barack Obama values the work that women do in our society. He has worked to give them the tools to fight pay discrimination. And when we passed the Paycheck Fairness Act in the House, a bill that ensures equal pay for equal work, Barack Obama said, and I quote, "This isn't just an economic issue for millions of Americans and their families. It is a question of who we are as a country, of whether we are going to live up to our values as a nation." This election can be a turning point for women hit so hard in this economy. The choice is clear: to make opportunity real and to knock down this wall that blocks women's progress. We have to send and elect Barack Obama to the White House. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the great lady from the state of Colorado, Diana DeGette.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosa. Everyone in this room knows the people in our families who are responsible for health care are the women of this country. And under Barack Obama, the women will be empowered to take the health care decisions into their own hands for themselves, their families, and their children. Sadly, this is not true for Senator McCain. Senator McCain misses the mark for women's health care and for children's health care. Over 47 million Americans are still without adequate health care in this country, and 8 million of them, as the Speaker said, are children. And when it came time to provide health care for these children, these are the children of the working poor. These are the children of single moms around the country, like the mom in my congressional district who's a janitor. When she got a raise, she had to start taking her child to the emergency room for an earache. That is not right in the most powerful country in the world. And John McCain voted against the legislation and commended the legislation that would give that working mom and working moms all around the country health care legislation for their children. Barack Obama supports expansion of the S-CHIP program, and he wants to make sure that every single child in this country has quality health care. But now, Senator McCain wants to go even farther than denying health care to our at-risk kids. Senator McCain wants to radically restructure our nation's health care system. It's appalling, isn't it? Senator McCain wants to dramatically restructure our health care system, which would hit women the hardest. What he wants to do is take away employer-based health care and have people buy their own health care, and on top of that, to tax their benefits. A report released just last week by the Center for American Progress Action Fund found that Senator McCain's plan not only would dangerously destabilize the employer-based health insurance that 160 million Americans rely on, but that tens of millions of women would be particularly at risk of losing their insurance coverage, even though women use health care services more frequently than men, suffer chronic illnesses more often than men, and require maternity care and other reproductive health services. Under Senator McCain's health care plan, more than 59 million women who receive health insurance through their job or their spouse's job risk losing that insurance. More than 30 million women with employer-sponsored health insurance who have a chronic condition could lose their health insurance. And some of the requirements that some of us have fought so hard for at the state level, requiring maternity coverage and cancer screening and other coverages, would be wiped away under this plan. The bottom line, Senator McCain's radical health care plan is risky and dangerous for American women. We should be spending our time doing what Senator Obama wants to do, getting quality health care for all Americans, instead of eliminating people, at-risk children and women and others who are the most vulnerable from this health care system. Women need to look long and hard at the records of the candidates, and when they do, at the end of this election, the choice will become clear. For health care, it will be Senator Obama. Thank you. And I'm now very pleased to introduce my colleague from Illinois, Representative Jan Schakowsky.
Imagine if President Bush and John McCain had gotten their way 2 years ago and privatized Social Security. Now imagine being one of the 50 million Americans who depend on Social Security and picking up this newspaper or papers around the country. This one from the Washington Post says, "Stocks plunge as crisis intensifies," and wondering how you can afford to live. Everything you worked for your whole life is gone in 7 hours. That's it. You have no retirement security, and you're left wondering how you'll be able to afford food, heat your home, even keep the lights on. Fortunately, John McCain and President Bush did not get their way, and 50 million Americans can breathe a sigh of relief. They can still rely on their monthly guaranteed Social Security benefits, no matter what happens on Wall Street. And that's why this election is so critical. We are actually talking about the difference between life and death for some people. Barack Obama believes Social Security is, quote, the cornerstone of the social compact in this country. And he pledges to protect it, quote, today, tomorrow, and forever, unquote. John McCain says Social Security funding is an absolute disgrace. He simply doesn't get how it works in the first place. And he supports privatization. In March, McCain said, quote, I'm totally in favor of personal savings accounts, unquote. Barack Obama opposes Social Security privatization because it would, quote, gamble the retirement plans of millions of Americans. We're talking about people over 65 years old. We're talking about persons with disabilities. We're talking about spouses and dependents, including my very own grandchildren who lost their mother and are being helped by Social Security payments. For the majority of Americans that rely on Social Security are women, and for many older women, it is the only income they have. For them, Social Security is literally the difference of having money to buy food or going without. Barack Obama and Joe Biden believe that Social Security should be a guarantee and not a game of chance. John McCain and Sarah Palin disagree. They're willing to risk women's financial security by gambling their benefits in a stock market that dropped 500 points this past Monday. This is just one more reason why women and men who care about their mothers, their wives, their daughters' financial futures must elect Obama-Biden this November. Thank you. And now I'm proud to introduce a colleague who, even before coming to the United States Congress, was an advocate and organizer for working families, including working women, and that's Linda Sanchez from California.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Despite his campaign's outreach efforts, I think that McCain's effort to bridge the gender gap is about as effective as the bridge to nowhere. And I want to take health care as an example. The lack of universal health care coverage hits women especially hard. There are over 20 million uninsured women in this country, and women are more likely than men to delay or not get medical care because of high costs. Health care premiums have doubled in the last 7 years alone. No wonder only 27% of women are very confident that they will be able to afford health care for themselves and their families. And what does John McCain offer these women? John McCain offers a health care plan that would, for the first time in our country's history, tax health care benefits. And McCain's plan won't even make a major dent in the number of uninsured Americans. Amid this health care coverage crisis, John McCain has a health care record that is classic in its indifference to the problems affecting working families. McCain has repeatedly voted to cut Medicare and Medicaid. He has opposed efforts to expand health insurance to children and prescription drug coverage to seniors. McCain has even opposed increased funding for veterans' health care. Medicare and Medicaid represent America's commitment to take care of the most vulnerable in our society, the elderly and the poor. The women who depend on these programs have no other option for health care coverage. The good news is that women can count on Barack Obama. Senator Obama has voted to preserve and strengthen Medicare and Medicaid at every opportunity. Obama believes that every American should have access to quality health care and that drug and insurance companies should pay their fair share. Barack Obama is committed to signing universal health care legislation that ensures that all Americans, including the millions of uninsured women, have high-quality, affordable health care coverage. Barack Obama's plan will also improve health care quality for underinsured Americans. Those are Americans whose nominal health care coverage doesn't insure them against catastrophic health costs and who are nearly as likely to go without medical care as the uninsured. Expanding coverage for uninsured and underinsured is particularly important for women because we are disproportionately represented in those groups. Let there be no mistake. A vote for John McCain is a vote to jeopardize women's access to health care. Women want need and deserve change from the last 8 years of neglect of their economic security. Senator Obama offers clear support to overcome the challenges facing women and families. He offers us the change we need. Women can count on Barack Obama. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a colleague of mine from the great state of Maryland, Representative Edwards.
It's time for a change. It's time for a change. There's a tidal wave of change that's sweeping across the country, and at the crest are the women of America. And we're at the crest because we know that Barack Obama will bring us, and we've heard it, will bring us pay equity. Is that too much to ask for women to show up at a workplace, work alongside their counterpart who's a male, and be paid the same amount? No. It's not a lot to ask. And there's a tidal wave of change sweeping the country. Barack Obama is that change. Is it too much to ask for our children and for the women who take care of them to have health care for our children? Not too much to ask. No. The tidal wave of change sweeping across this country, and Barack Obama is going to bring real health care to America's children and America's families. Is it too much to ask for women to have an economy that's stable so that we can take care of ourselves and our families? Not too much to ask. And Barack Obama knows that, and he knows that because he's done it. You know, some people talk about what they want to do, and there are some who have a record of what they've accomplished and a vision for the future. Barack Obama has a record, and he has a vision for the future. And that change is going to come to us when we elect Barack Obama as the next president of the United States. Now look, you've already heard and you've seen the headlines and you've seen the marketplace. We can't afford to jeopardize this nation's Social Security and the security of women in America who depend on Social Security to the whims of John McCain and the marketplace. And only Barack Obama understands what that means and what it means to women. I know I wouldn't have gone to college if my father, who was disabled, hadn't been able to receive Social Security and we hadn't had benefits as children. This is important not as a ceiling, but as a floor. And Barack Obama understands that. For America's women, for America's children, we understand that we want to live in our homes and in a home that's free of violence. Barack Obama and certainly Joe Biden understands that. They understand that when women live in homes that are filled with violence and their children witness that violence, that it impacts how they perform in the workplace. It impacts how they are able to take care of themselves and their children. Barack Obama understands that. John McCain doesn't. To me, the choice is really clear. Barack Obama gets it, John McCain doesn't. Barack Obama knows that he has a vision for the future, and he's willing to bring that to America's women and America's families. Senator McCain only understands the last 8 years of absolute failure. We don't need 4 more years of the same with John McCain. And so it's clear. We've heard it from the women of this House and the women of America. And when that tidal wave sweeps across the country, the women of America are going to stand up with one voice behind Senator Barack Obama and Senator Joe Biden as the next president and vice president of the United States.
We just heard from Representative Donna Edwards, who is the newest member of Congress. From the record and listening to my colleagues, when it comes to pay equity and the economic security of women, Barack Obama is right and John McCain is wrong. When it comes to health care for our children, health care for all women in America and working families in America, Barack Obama is right and John McCain is wrong. When it comes to retirement security and Social Security for our seniors, for our people with disabilities and for dependents, Barack Obama is right and John McCain is wrong. And when it comes to access to quality health care for all Americans, recognizing the challenges that women in the workplace especially face, disproportionately being cut out of this, Barack Obama is right and John McCain is wrong. That's why it is absolutely essential to the women of America that we elect Barack Obama and Joe Biden, the next President and Vice President of the United States.